Thanks for joining us for another episode of Love, Marriage, and Everything in Between. I'm Chef Shan.
I'm DTP.
And this is Countertop Talk.
Episode 16.
There you have it.
There you have it. How was your week, babe?
My week was cool. I'm a little under the weather. I'm taking our son to work and he sprays suntan spray in the car. The windows rolled up. The air is blowing and all that he sprayed went directly into my mouth. And I'm just feeling a little under the weather. But no worries. I'm going to get through this, be a professional about everything, and just still make it happen today.
I think the funniest part is that he had the audacity to question you and why you was questioning him on spraying it.
Yeah,
but he did come back later and apologize.
Yeah, he did come back later and apologize. He checked in on me. Mom, are you okay? My apologies, my bad. So he did recover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not a lot stood out for me this week. Just paying attention to the news. Remember, we was talking about Trump having something in his bill to cap NIL, but I mean, that's a whole other topic. So right now, I'm just paying attention to the news and adjusting in real time as I see fit.
Okay.
As you know. So I'm going to do something a little different this week. No icebreaker. But I did come across an article this week with a trader, Aristotle Investments, who actually had a trending topic, as he mentioned, why rich people make their money and disappear. He said, I'm not hanging around a bunch of $5 Negroes. So what would you say to that?
I mean, that's a great point, but I don't think all millionaires share his sentiments, because millionaires these days are outside. That's why you have the TMZ and, the Jasmine brand and all the blogs, they're tracking celebrities and, rich people. But, when you do reach a certain limit and a certain success rate, I do feel that you do need to be mindful of your environment for safety purposes, for sure.
Absolutely. I agree with him. I think he's saying it from a perspective like you're disappearing from the associations and the groups that you're used to being around. As you listen to the post, he says, you know what? I'm not going somewhere where there's a $5 cover charge. I'm not going to be at the community barbecues. And I think, you're right. Not all people are outside, but I think people are outside that have hit a certain tier with security, or they have their own form of security. But I agree with them 1,000%.
Why is that?
Because you have to move differently when you hit, like, a lot of people, like for me, like I'm still kind of fuzzy on social media, very fuzzy. But I am aware that when you are showing and exposing things, you got to be aware that people that may be looking for wrong intentions.
Absolutely.
So I think he's absolutely right. Guess what? The most lit party in a city, I don't care if it's in Baltimore, Houston, whatever, I will absolutely not be there. You get what I'm saying? Those places where I do go and I do pop out, I post, guess what? It might be a day later, but I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm secured. I'm very comfortable if I am out. So if I am out, I'm not worrying about that. But I do believe you have to pick and choose your battles because, as he stated, you're your biggest investment.
Absolutely.
You got a family at home. You got people that depend on you. You have investments. You have businesses that you're running. You have businesses that you're a very intricate part of the success. Absolutely. I can't hang everywhere, and I'm not looking to hang everywhere where everybody's going to be. There needs to be some levels of separation.
Yeah, and I actually also believe it depends on a person's personality, because if you are a person that loved to party and now you have reached a certain level of success, I think a lot of times those type of people are still going to go out and have a good time, yada, yada, yada. They're going to be at the club. They're going to be at certain events. As for me, I'm not really a lit person. So, I like intimate settings. I like,
Low key.
yeah, I like to eat. I want to
Mm-hmm.
go to a nice restaurant. I want to eat. I want to, you know, what they say, low vibration. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's my vibe. I like it low. I like it chilled. But some people, it doesn't even have nothing to do with reaching a certain amount of success. They like the lit parties. You'll have certain people that shouldn't be in certain environments. Like
Yeah.
the first thing that will come to my mind, well, first person, actually is Bobby Brown. Remember Bobby Brown would get into all of that trouble, married
Mm-hmm.
to the Whitney
Yeah.
Houston, and he's in Boston partying,
Right.
and he's here and he's there. And it's like, bro, you're married to Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
So I just think that some people that have that party animal mentality, it doesn't matter how much money they have, they're going to be in certain places that they just shouldn't be in.
But you know what? I mean, like me, I love exclusivity. So like my cousins may ask, hey, you want to do this? Cool. Right? Do they check for firearms? If a place doesn't check for firearms, even though I'm carrying a firearm at all times, I'm not going. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you are like that.
I have to know the specs. I got to know the ways in and out. It's just certain things. But I do feel like this: if you are at a certain level and you are outside, like, and not in a safe manner, just because you like to party, I think it's irresponsible. I told our oldest son this when he started with private schools. I was like, look, you don't need to go to every party. You bring the party to you, right? So you feel like you're feeling a little lonely, you want to be in a little situation, invite your friends over. Let's set it up. Or let's book a room at one of your favorite restaurants, you know what I mean, where it's just you and your guys. But I think when you do hit a certain tier, you want to be in those rooms that everybody don't have access to.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to definitely understand that certain situations you shouldn't be in.
You
And,
can't.
like our parents used to say, everything is not for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so that's where we at with that. What we got on the docket today?
Okay, so for the docket for the topics. Okay, so this is what we have. Is Black love still a possibility?
In 2025 and
Yeah,
beyond.
is it still a possibility?
You asking me? You want me?
Let's get into it. I mean, this is for me, just starting off, if you want me to start off with my response. I'm very unsure. And the reason why I say I'm so unsure is because it's starting to feel like you and I are like unicorns. We've been married for a long time.
Some of our friends.
We hang with each other. We enjoy each other company. We love each other, still in love with each other. We have a good time. We're still laughing. We also are still getting to know each other, because even though we have been together for
That's
a long
crazy,
time,
right?
we are still finding things out about each other that we didn't know, or maybe we overlooked. But we're still growing. You're not the same person you were when I met you. At 23. I'm not the same person you met. So we're going through our changes, being in our 40s, getting to know each other and what we like versus what we used to like back then. And to me, it's a beautiful thing. However, you go into the world of the web, the internet, and you just see so much hate and disrespect that's going on between a Black man and a Black woman. It does cause like doubt, like, damn. However, seeing all of that, I'm very grateful to have you in my life. You are a stand-up guy. You are a great husband, a great father. And I just look at some of these comments sometimes and I just send a prayer on up. Like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Because it's just like some of these guys out here, some of the things that they say out their mouth as a older gentleman or whatever, 40s, 50s. I'm looking at that age range as somebody that should have some sense. And some of the things that these older men say out their mouth concerning women and black women is egregious. Yeah, so it causes doubt.
So I think it's a disconnect right now. I'm gonna stand on the other side of the fence with this. To answer the question, I think it's possible for black love to exist, but it's not probable. And I think there's a big disconnect between men and women. I think black men, just being honest, I think they are fed up with the what can I get women. I think, in my opinion, that's where a lot of this animosity is stemming from. So guys are not they're not feeling that, what can you do for me to date? And guys are not into that, oh, you want my number, you want to go out, cash at me. That's how we start off getting it. Like, that is, and I get it, because I mean, if I'm single right now, that's like absolutely not even up for discussion. So I think guys are fed up
Okay,
with
so
that behavior.
when you're going through your segments and everything like that, or why men are fed up, I need you to, put me down with game, because I never heard of, you have to cash app a woman just to get the conversation going. Like, from the start, a female's asking a guy, send me some money before they even get to know each other. That's what's happening now.
I mean,
that's
and
cringy.
of course, look, I'm just going off from the things I see, but I think I understand. Like, even if you think about it, all right, let's go with, at one point, the city girls, and it was it. Guys, that whole wave of a guy got to do this, a guy got to do that. Guys ain't into that, and I think guys that's even in the 40s and 50s at some point have encountered that, and it's a turnoff. Like, it's a turnoff. Think about it, and I'm gonna let you chime in here. Most of the time, most often, what women say, they want somebody that can take care of them and protect them. Guys have no issue with the protection part, right? But in the beginning, you should not have the expectation that somebody is going to take care of you when they're getting to know you. Whereas when a man is getting with a woman, the finances is 99% of the time never in play. You're not saying, I'm not dating this lady, this woman, this girl, because she can't pay a $300 bill for dinner. She's not going to pay my bills. You might have that in some cases, you know what I mean? But guys, they're not factoring that in. So for a guy, whether you have it or whether you don't have it, it's like, no, you got me messed up. Like, you think just off the rip, because of your beauty, you think that I should be doing this? And I think that is where the frustration is coming from, that women aren't understanding.
So with that being said, what do you think the expectations are for men? Because you also do see on social media and things like that, whereas though you have men that are expecting to have sex with women after one date, or they have these expectations that, hey, I took you out to eat, you need to do something for that.
So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's kind of cringy. Also, with social media, everything plastered on Instagram. You had like the scene of, you mentioned the city girls. Well, Young Miami went on a shopping spree hosted by Puffy, so she's recording going in and out of Chanel, multiple bags. He had a duffel bag full of money, and he's just taking her on this shopping spree. And then on the opposite side of that, with the Diddy, trial, we have 50 Cent, baby mother Daphne, that didn't see a Chanel store. She was just being prostituted or whatever like that. So you have these different dynamics where, so you do see women that are being treated like princesses, and then you have other women that are not. So something that they used to say back in the day, just because a man do one thing for this woman doesn't mean he's going to do it for you. So some men out here will spin a bag on a woman, treat her nice and this and that if they want to. But every woman is not going to be that special lady where a man want to spend money on them. But some men do like to do that.
Yeah, so that's a lot. All right, so let's go back to, you were saying like Young Miami, Diddy, whatever. I think that's the problem. Like, not just women, but speaking about women in this circumstance, it's they look at celebrities as them.
I agree.
And you can't look at what Moneybagg Yo is doing for Russell Simmons' daughter. You can't look at what Diddy is doing for Young Miami and think that's supposed to be done for you and then cry about you don't have a good man. I remember when I was dating a girl that modeled, right? And her thing was, I told you the story. Any guy that proposed to her, we were maybe 20, 21, had to put at least a 3-carat diamond ring on your finger. Okay. Yet you driving in 2003 a 1995 Cavalier that you're parking a block over so the repo man don't take it and got to get a ride to your house or walk to your house. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Your expectations
that's
are crazy. So
Yeah,
my answer to your question is that's the disconnect. These women are looking at what's happening online with these celebrities, with these athletes, and like, you should be treating me like that. No. However, there are guys that do like just doing for a woman, to each his own. But my question is, what do you bring to the table besides good looks? That's not enough. That's not enough.
I agree. You know, especially right now in 2025. I mean, you definitely do have to bring something to the table more than, good looks, because, good looks sometimes don't always stay intact, So what do you bring besides that? I totally agree with you. And I do feel like a lot of women of yesterday could use that as a crutch, being pretty and things like that. But 2025 guys really don't care about that. An article was circulating with Jadakiss and his wife. His wife looked pretty to me, but people was coming at her saying, "Oh, I can't believe he's married to this woman. She doesn't look the part. She doesn't look this. She's naturally beautiful to me. She doesn't have the big breast, the big butt, or whatever. But he's still married to her after so many years, and they look like they're in love and all of that stuff. And, so what people perception of a relationship, some women think that that's all they need to bring is just being pretty or having a nice shape. And there's so much more that men like. So I'm glad you're bringing this up, because men want more than that. Men will be always, until the end of time, down for a good time, right? But will that good time turn into marriage? It has to be more.
And to speak about Jadakiss' situation, I mean, his wife probably has a career outside of just being his wife, right?
Or not.
Yeah. But maybe she has financial savviness. Maybe he makes the bread, she invests the bread. Maybe she's very family oriented, a great mother,
Great personality.
Fun to be with. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, and I wouldn't say, black women age well, but it's just more than that is needed. So like, we talk about my buddy Jay, may his soul rest in peace, who was in the armed forces and passed away. Jay was a great young man until he passed, right? Never in the streets, always smart, wanted to be a pilot since we were younger, but he didn't have the 20/20 vision that he needed, but he still found a way to serve. He wanted to be on the front line. Just a great guy. However, Jay wouldn't get what is considered a hot girl in today's society, right? And we talk about this because women say, I want a good man, or I want a man to do this, I want a man to do this, but you're looking for the man in the wrong places. Jay would never even be looked at, even though, you know, in all due respect, you know, this is my guy. I don't have anything to be self-conscious about, but, you know, he was a standard, an attractive guy. You said Jay was handsome, right?
You said all of that just to say it's okay for a man to say another man is handsome.
Yeah, that's my guy. But you said, you know, like Jay was handsome, but Jay would wear his Levi's. You know, Jay would have his standard Walmart T-shirt or whatever. Not because he couldn't afford more, but Jay just was not in the clothes. You know, he's gonna have on the same shoes. He might have 3 pairs of shoes, but a clean cut guy. Most women, may his soul rest in peace, would not even look at Jay. And Jay is going to give them everything they need. He's going to give them the emotional support. Jay is going to come home. He's going to help around the house. Jay, I'm sure if he would have had kids, he would have been helping with the kids. He would have been at PTA meetings, all of that. But they're not looking for that. You know, you say it. Women want a bad boy to a certain degree. You want the tattoos under the eye. You know, you want the tattoos on the neck. You want a slight droop in the pants, maybe, or the Gucci shoes. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, those qualities you want are not in the men that women are pursuing, and then they're looking at these celebrities and comparing their life. Are you celebrity?
You gotta ask yourself, are you celebrity? Will you be able to have that same lifestyle without that man? You know, so yeah, I agree. But I mean, a lot of times some females are broken. You know, you are a great guy. I will keep saying it all over and over again. You are a great guy, but you do have that little twinge of like thug offness, like like you got that in you. Whereas though most females do want, you know, they want like a little, unfortunately, that bad boy. And I'm not saying you're a bad boy far as like getting into trouble and things like that, but if some smoke come your way, you are ready for the smoke. You are ready for it. And sometimes women are attracted to that, and sometimes it can be,
women are messy.
Not all women are messy, but I'm just saying sometimes, you know, women are broken, you know, and sometimes they are looking for things that are just not good for them.
So I think about the time we was in Maryland, and I think it was a Comcast guy that was on a pole up the street, right? Mm-hmm. And you had came from the grocery store.
Yeah.
And you was like, you came to the house huffing. You was like, babe, the man up the street, the Comcast guy, I told him he need to move his ladder because I couldn't get by. And he would say, you gonna have to wait. You gonna have to wait. And I gotta bring these groceries down. So I'm like, what? I'm like, he can't be playing like that. So when I went up there and I said, what's up, brother? I said, my wife said y'all had a exchange. And he said, yeah, brother, I'm just saying, I was asking her to wait because a lot of times people would try to go around my ladder. And if somebody hits it, I'm 50 feet in the air, I'm vulnerable. But his everything was so humble, and I understood what he was saying, putting myself in his shoes. Like, I would want somebody to wait too. Like, don't try to wing it. So that's the messy part I'm talking about with women. Because you wanted smoke. You wanted blood.
Yes, I did want to smoke. I wanted you to kick that ladder over because that wasn't the same energy that he had for me. I'm 5'2". I get out I'm 5'2". I get out my car and I'm like, you know, can you move your ladder, please? He gonna say,
and I'm sure you didn't say it like that.
I didn't say it like that. And he told me that, you know, you're gonna have to wait, you know, but when you come out, you know, you come out with your gray sweatpants, a wife beater, and like some what you had on some Yeezy slides, and his whole tone changed. You're 6'4", but how he handled you versus how he handled me was completely different. And that's the thing. A lot of times these men, they just don't know how to handle women. Like everything is just like rudeness. You're so quick to snap at a woman. You're so quick to go off on a woman, but you won't have that same energy for a man. And we experienced that a lot. I remember I was trying to make a return at a store. The man gonna tell me he can't do the return because it wasn't at his particular location. So I'm gonna have to go back to the other location. You come in the door, man, what's up? We need this return. We ain't going to another store. And what did he say? Okay, I'm going to return it for you. I'll make an exception. So it's completely different. You come in with that energy. I'm nice as I could be, my little 5'2" self, but men want to give me the smoke.
So I think, and that's it's just it's a gap. No, because like
men
a J guy,
men are handling women differently. Can you agree with that? Men handle women differently right now,
and women are handling men differently. So let's think about it. Like the whole wave when years ago. Can't remember what year, but there has been an elevation in successful Black women in corporate and business, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And we had these discussions. It was like, man, women should have been getting their flowers. Women getting their flowers at the same time. It's like the government, economy, everything was stepping on men. So it was this phase of women going through, I don't need a man, right? What I need a man for? Hold up. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
Let me finish my point. So yeah, during that phase and during this phases, I think women are still doing well. Statistics even show that in business and corporate, et cetera, Black women are really achieving even more now. But those men that are being stepped on, they're being treated differently because, again, when a man is dating a woman, he's never considering finances. But when most Black women are considering a man, they're considering finances. And if it's about finding your person, as we spoke about in previous episodes, finding somebody that's going to treat you the way you want to be treated, treating you the way you deserve to be treated, that shouldn't be the main caveat. So men are frustrated. Men are disconnected from this whole thing. And you're seeing men, they're not looking to protect and provide the way they was before because you looking at me like a lick. Most men aren't going to stand for that.
So I know you're happily married, but speaking for men right now, what would you say men look for in a woman?
They are looking for number one, number two, and number three, somebody that's not money hungry. That's a great start.
Bull. Come on. So a man looking for a woman, I want a good woman. I hear
these conversations.
And that's all they care about. I just don't want a woman that's money hungry.
Starting there, because off the top, you're not going to be treated. If a man senses that you're in it for one thing, you really think he's giving you his all? Because in the beginning, you're only dating the representative of a person. So if you show me in that interview, that exchange we have, that date or whatever, and your representative is showing you need a 3-carat ring to start off the top, that man is not going in the treasure chest to give you all of his gems. He's just not. So once it's an understanding that, okay, we equally yoked, she's here to meet somebody. She's here to possibly find a person to be her forever person. That is when a man will start unlocking who he really is. He's not, once y'all come with that young Miami energy, it's the rap. Like, guys not standing for that right now. They're not, whether they got the bag or not, and respectfully so, I understand it. Like, nah, they're not doing that with the leeches. So to answer your question, 1, 2, and 3, you're not money hungry. And more than likely, if you're not money hungry, the other things will fall into place. You stand for something, you have substance, is other layers to you that he can explore, because the finances isn't the thing. Like when we first dated, right? And it's like when you see somebody is all in, like I saw you was all in, it's like, yeah, sky's the limit. I can be that guy, but I'm not going to be that guy just off the rip. to think that because you're beautiful, you're flawless, that I have to pay to play. I'm not, guys like I'm not paying to play.
Well, some guys are paying to play, and some guys don't mind paying to play
More
because
power to them.
that's that's the game. That's the game of dating. Yeah, a woman may want a man that is a provider, but what does a man want? And that's not a real answer. That's saying like a man just want somebody that's not money hungry. Yeah, it's a lot of women out here that are not money hungry, but
That's true.
some guys not gonna like that woman or have an eye for that woman. Men are sexual beings,
True.
and their first thing that they look at is a woman attractive.
True.
That's the first thing they think of,
Right.
when they're looking at a woman. That's why you will have what they say, a high value man that can marry somebody that's a waitress at a restaurant or that is a flight attendant, because they don't care what her income is, her salary is, because they're looking at her attraction and they will pursue. You don't see millionaires pursuing other women that are millionaires. Look at Shannon Sharp. Is he pursuing somebody that's in his age range? No, he's pursuing a little girl. He's pursuing a little girl. So I don't think men that are, I'm not going to say all men, but the majority of men, they're not looking at, okay, if she's money hungry or not. These men don't care. They have enough money to have multiple women. Also, you have men that may not have that type of income, but they may have game. You have a lot of guys now that just have game, that they can have multiple women. So they're not looking at, okay, is she money hungry or not. I think a lot of times with the guys that's coming out, and correct me if I'm wrong, are saying the money hungry are the ones that maybe can't pull a woman. A lot of times guys that have a sense of humor, have a personality, they don't need to have money to get a woman.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
going to be absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I agree with that. But the guys that, again, like I said earlier, a lot of times with men, it's not that they don't have it or have it. It's just the thought that you're only looking for this. It's a turnoff. It doesn't matter how attractive you are. So let me ask you this for women. How you say women want a man that can provide. What is synonymous to that on a woman's side that a man will say takes the place of how you want a man to provide? You can do this. What is the value? Just talking to the value system. So women, high on the chart, money, take care of them. What does a guy have to look for on a woman's side that equates to that? Because that's critical.
It's very critical, and I think a lot of men are missing this caveat. But I think what's synonymous to a woman may want a guy that's financially stable. A man wants a woman that they can really be vulnerable with, that they could be who they truly are. It's so many men that are in relationships that can't really be transparent with their woman. They can't cry in front of their woman because their woman may use that as a later date against them. So I think a man truly would want to just have the ability to be vulnerable, to take off that shield. Black men do go through a lot. You're out in the world, you're dealing with a lot, so many things. And then you come home and you have to be the Superman at home. I feel like some men would really love to have a partner where they could just say, babe, I had a long day. This is how I felt. These are the emotions that I went through. It was just tough. And then that woman say, baby, tomorrow's a new day. I got you a nice meal cooked. just relax. Let me give you a massage. Everything's going to be all right. I'm here for you. I think a lot of men feel like they're in relationships, but they're still alone. They can't really be transparent. They can't tell their wives that, hey, maybe I lost a certain amount of money in a bad stock option or something like that, or the business is not doing well. A lot of times men hide those things from their lady because they don't, deep down inside, they may have some type of insecurity where it's though, oh my God, if I tell my woman, I'm not doing well financially, will she leave me? Will she cheat on me with, I think a lot of things run through men's mind like that, where ultimately they just want to know that their lady loved them regardless of what's in the bank account.
You hit it on the nose. Guys want to be vulnerable, but you just emphasized my point. That costs nothing.
Yes.
That costs nothing.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying you was like money.
Well, listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As what a man is requiring costs you nothing. Babe, you had a hard day at work. I got you. Don't worry about that. We're going to have a good time tonight. Today's going to feel like the weekend. That's how much fun we're going to have. Go shower, that costs you nothing.
Yes.
But think about the movie Half Baked with the money in the corner. So a man got to go on a date. And to get to the next date, you have to spend appropriately.
Well, actually, he did not spend appropriately,
and
they had a good time, and she enjoyed herself.
Come on,
yeah, she enjoyed herself.
That's a great point.
She really liked him,
and I think that's what guys look at. We're like, look, if I take you to IHOP or I take you to Ocean Prime, you're going to be satisfied that we spending time together and we're getting to know each other. And guess what? It might not hurt you like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay for the drink. Nah, I got just a thought of you saying you wanting to, because you did that with us. Our first date, we went out and you offered to pay, and right there, I was like, I got one. You get what I'm saying?
And
I was not going to let you pay.
Yeah, so you refused for me to pay.
Right.
And I was like, I got one. I got my husband.
But you passed the test.
And you passed the test.
So I just think the communication, going back to the topic, is black love. I mean, I hope it can come back. I mean, we see a lot of black love within our couples groups that we have, but I don't think it's popular right now. Right now, it's like every man for ourselves. And if the black woman and the black man are going to reconnect, we have to reconnect as a community. Because, I mean, the black on black crime, I'm not even always talking about the physical crime, but the bashing of each other's businesses, the bashing of our characters, it's at an all-time high right now. So we got to get back to our roots.
Yeah, and I will say this, to the black women out there, if you are single, do the work to heal yourself, to know why your relationships in the past were unsuccessful. And if you feel like, hey, I need to date outside my race, then, date outside your race. Black men do it all the time. So just open yourself up to other experiences, because a lot of times we date the same people, we're doing the same thing because that's what we're used to. And sometimes you do need a reset. So try, if things not working out with the brothers, date outside your race. Black men do it, all the time. And I know something I will say as far as like black men, everybody wants a black man, no matter what race it is. You have white women, Asian women, you Indian women, everybody wants a black man, so you guys are very welcome in other communities, where so with black women, we may not be as welcome, but it may be that one person that say, hey, I find your personality attractive. I find you attractive. I love you how you are. Let's give it a shot. And give it a shot. Don't turn down maybe a co-worker that you have a good energy with. Give it a try, because at the end of the day, love who love you back. Love who love you back.
I can't follow that. I think you said it perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I think that's a good point, stopping point. Maybe we'll revisit it, but I think next time we need to talk about interracial relationships.
Yeah,
Start there.
I see a lot. We see a lot of. I know before used to always be like a black man and another race, but now I'm seeing black women
Yeah,
with white men, um,
let's bring that to the next
and
episode.
yeah, and I'm happy for them.
Okay,
I'm happy,
we'll talk more
happy for
about
that.
that. We'll talk more.
Okay, so we normally end with you giving some good advice, life advice, motivational advice. What you
Yeah.
got for us this week?
So this week, the YN's been on my mind,
Not the, not the
and
why.
yeah, the YNs have been on my mind because they taking a beating right now. So my message to the youth, especially black men, is young black men, is that we're not judging you. But a lot of us older men, some of us have been in the same predicaments in the same shoes that you guys were in. So we understand the thinking. But I want you guys to know that there's another way to achieve all of the things that you wish to have and that you deserve in life. You just got to give yourself a chance to grow. And I know that's easy for me to say as a 46-year-old man, but like I said, a lot of us were your age at one point. So find yourself a OG. And when I say a OG, I mean an original guy. I mean somebody that is a car dealership manager, might be a car salesman, somebody that's doing even one thing that you wish to accomplish one day, because more than likely that man that you're looking at as they are now, that wasn't that same man 25 years ago. The nice things, the cars, the jewelry, the items you may have, you can get those things doing the right thing, but you got to give yourself a chance to grow. And again, we're not judging you. I understand. You might think it's easier to say as an older man, but we were once your age and we once had the same obstacles and challenges that you have. But give yourself a chance, make a game plan of how you can be better, and find you an original guy that's willing to open up and share some of the things that he's done to get to where he's at. Because believe it or not, to make it to a wiser age is a major accomplishment. That means they did something right to get to that age. Too many of y'all are dying young. Too many of y'all throwing y'all life away, going to jail too soon. But even if you have went to jail, you're coming home, you still have a chance to be something. So that's my message to the YNs. Give yourself a chance to grow because you deserve everything that you want, but you just got to let it take time.
That was very heartfelt and well put together, well said. Because these young guys out here, they need a positive voice, and you're doing it. Successful man and married man, not a womanizer. So that's a good message for the youth. Yes, find yourself an OG. Good job, boo.
Cool.
All right. Until next time, stay safe and stay blessed.